Piles and caisson exam questions. Box caisson. Watertight box made of timber and concrete having a bottom but no top. Bearing pile. Used in foundation construction and carries superimposed loads. Uncast pile. Cement, driving a concrete plug into the ground along with a steel casing and then ramming concrete into place as the casing is withdrawn. Guide pile. Used in cofferdam construction to support horizontal wall that in turn supports vertical sheet piling. Pier. A cast-in-place concrete foundation formed by boring with a large auger or excavating by hand a shaft in the earth to a suitable bearing and filling the shaft W concrete. Precast concrete pile. Has a round, square or polygonal cross-section and sometimes an open core, often press-tressed. Pile cap. Footing-like member that joins the heads of a cluster of piles to distribute the load from a column or grade beam among the piles. Lagging. Refers to heavy timber planks joined together side by side to retain the face of an excavation. Cofferdam. Temporary enclosure in a river, lake, etc. to keep water from the enclosed area prior to construction. Steam pile hammer. Type of pile driver that is automatically raised and dropped a short distance. Rock caisson. Socket caisson having a steel H-section core within a concrete-filled pipe casing. Double-acting steam. More compact compared to single-acting steam hammer. Soldier pile. H-section steel pipe driven vertically into the ground to support horizontal lagging. Pipe pile. Heavy steel pipe driven with the lower end either open or closed by a heavy steel plate and filled W concrete. Drop hammer. Type of pile driver that is raised by means of a rope and then allowed to be dropped. Height of hammer not more than 6 meters. Batter pile. Driven at an inclination to resist forces that are not vertical. Timber pile. Log driven usually as a friction pile fitted with a steel shoes. End bearing pile, point bearing pile. Pile depending principally on the bearing resistance of soil or rock beneath its foot for support. Friction pile. A pile that depends on the frictional resistance of surrounding earth for support. Socket caisson. Caisson that is drilled into a stratum of solid rock rather than belled. Sheet pile. Prevent water, used to resist lateral pressure of the earth to form a wall that is intended to be watertight. * prevent water from seeping into an excavation. H-pile. Steel H-section sometimes encased in concrete to a point below the water table to prevent corrosion. Pile eccentricity. Deviation of the pile from its planned location which results in a reduction of its allowable load. Cased pile. Cement plus steel, constructed by driving a steel pipe or casting into the ground until it meets the required resistance and filling it with concrete. Single-acting steam hammer. Steam is applied to raise the striking part of the hammer then allowed to fall by gravity. Pile. A long slender column of wood, steel, or reinforced concrete hammered vertically into the earth to form part of a foundation system. Caisson. Appear when the boring is 620 mm or larger in diameter that permits inspection of the bottom. Open caisson. A self-contained box structure made of timber, metal, and concrete. Pile driver. Machine for driving piles. Pile foundation. System of piles, pile caps, and tie beams for transferring building loads down to a suitable bearing stratum * used when the soil mass under the construction is not suitable for direct bearing of footings. Fender pile. Driven at wharves to protect the large masonry structure from sudden blows. Pneumatic caisson. Prevents water and mud. Type of caisson having an opening at the bottom and closed at the top, or it may be an inverted box that compressed air is introduced to keep water and mud from coming into the box enclosure.